Italy had been on my list for basically my entire life. The funny thing is, I've traveled all over Europe and somehow I kept skipping Italy. I was waiting for the perfect Italy trip. So eventually I said screw it, just Milan. Let's get my feet wet and see what all the hype's about. One thing about me is, if there's a food I love, I will absolutely build an entire trip around it. In this case, white truffles. So after landing in Milan, I rented a car and headed towards Alba. Before I made it to Alba though, I stopped at a place that had been on my list for years, Lake Como. And seeing Lake Como from above was unreal. The winding roads, the villas, the mountains rising straight out of the water. It looked like somebody built a movie set and forgot to tell everyone it wasn't real. Driving in Italy was an adventure all by itself. Everybody seems to be in a hurry. Tailgating, passing, flying down roads that barely feel wide enough for one car. And after a few days, I found myself doing the exact same thing. Somewhere in Italy, there's probably a camera with a photo of my rental car to prove it. After Lake Como, I continued on to Alba. Alba is basically the world capital of white truffles, which meant there was absolutely no chance I was skipping it. If you watched my videos before, you already know that's my weakness. I somehow managed to get a reservation at Piazza Duomo, one of the most celebrated restaurants in the world. The meal was so ridiculous that it deserves its own video. One thing I wasn't prepared for was how early Italy likes to eat. Restaurants start closing kitchens around 9:30 or 10:30, which for me, feels like dinner is just getting started. Fortunately, the food made me forget all about it. My first pizza in Italy was absolutely ridiculous. Then came Alba and the truffle pasta. Jesus. I've eaten truffles all over the world, but sitting in Alba, eating fresh white truffles where they're most famous, was something special. The food alone made the drive worth it. Now that was a good lunch. Then came my final night in Milan. I had already been turned away from 2 restaurants. At that point, I was ready to call it a night. Instead, I walked into Langosteria. A lot of people consider it the best seafood restaurant in all of Milan. The hostess checked the reservations and told me they were fully booked. So I gave my best desperate tourist speech, and somehow she made it happen. A few minutes later, I was sitting at the bar right in front of Chef Raphael. Without me even ordering, he shucked an oyster and placed it in front of me. He told me it was his favorite oyster in the world. It might be mine now too. Then came bread, then homemade butter, then sea urchin pasta, then more seafood, then tiramisu. Every single thing was incredible, but what made the night special wasn't really the food, it was the people. A hostess who found room when there wasn't supposed to be room. A chef who treated a complete stranger like an old friend. Those are the moments I remember most when I travel. Not the landmarks, not the fancy reservations, the random human moments that you could never have planned. I spent years waiting for the perfect Italy trip. Turns out, I should have just come sooner. Milan was amazing. Lake Como was beautiful. Alba was unforgettable. And somehow I still feel like I barely scratched the surface. Because now I've got Florence, Rome, Venice, and about 50 other places I still want to see. Italy wasn't a check mark, it was the beginning. And honestly, I can't wait to come back. Grazie mille.